We up?
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to this edition of Unwanted Opinions. I'm your host, Justin MacDonald, here with Matt Fischer.
Whoop, whoop.
Magic Matt. Fact checker Jesse James, executive producer Dave Miller, and special guest Just Joel here in the back.
Lust Joel.
Lust Joel. Joel, we're so happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
You're the best dressed guest so far.
Best guest dressed.
Best guest dressed.
Thanks for showing up in clothes.
Yeah.
But as a tradition, I guess I'm supposed to bring beverages for people. So.
We have beverages.
Oh, good God.
Oh.
No.
Y'all done just all got showed up by Joel.
Hey!
What are you?
Everybody make sure they get that.
Oh. I got Dave's.
Hey, I got mine.
Mine's not labeled.
Hey.
I did get mine.
Here, this
Look
is
at
the
that.
other guy.
You guys just got rocked.
Look,
Everybody.
it says big head. Other guy.
Look at that.
That's got to be me.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
That is exceptional.
So do we start drinking these now, Joel?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't make the rules.
Yeah, let's,
I'm not your mama.
in case you guys didn't see that, a little bit of whistle piggyback. That is super fancy, Joel.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you.
Haven't seen that
dude,
tonight.
that's awesome.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
much appreciated.
Well, now it's awkward because that was nice. And
Yeah.
you're supposed to be mean to us when you're here.
Well, I mean, is there anything else
The
going
morning's
on?
but a fetus. Don't
Anything
worry.
else we're celebrating today? besides
Yeah.
just Joel?
We are celebrating this guy's birthday.
Absolutely.
And I got you a bottle of whistle.
Hey, thanks. You don't know.
Oh, look at that face.
Yeah, it's a good thing we have these giant head cutouts left over from last Friday. And I'm sure you just love that they're going to float around indefinitely now.
Yeah, right.
They're out in the world. They've been like put out in the world, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere.
Never been so excited for 2023.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Your mayoral campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have
Speaking
even
of which-
larger cutout heads for that.
I don't think it can get any larger than like 5.5 feet, which is
Try us.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know.
Try us.
Yeah, CF posted the video of graduation.
Oh, did they?
They have the exact moment that I see you guys and see
Oh, that's
what's going
perfect.
on, and my face. In case you guys aren't aware, I didn't tell a lot of people that I was going through school because I think a lot of people assumed I'd already been through school.
Yeah, that's the funny part about it.
Yeah, funny enough, I'll never forget, hopefully I'll never forget, I had an interview with someone in our industry, the ASI promotional products industry, and while they were interviewing me, they said, "Oh, you're from Ocala?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm from Ocala." And they're like, "Wow, you sound so much different than the people I would expect from Ocala." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?"
How's that supposed to mean?
Right, exactly. Like, what do you mean? And she goes, "Well, you sound like you have all your teeth and you're college educated." And I was like,
You haven't mentioned horses once.
actually, you're wrong on both those fronts. I don't have all my teeth, and I'm not college educated. So I'm glad that I fit, but also don't fit the stereotype.
So for those who are wondering, though, what did you graduate with?
A degree.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
logistics and supply chain management minor, and my bachelor's was in business and organizational management.
I'm helping fly them birds down south.
Yeah,
I just kept telling everyone he's getting his GED.
yeah, either or.
Good enough
Listen.
diploma.
Yeah, that's the old DL Hughley line.
Is that?
So I'm graduating last week. I don't tell anyone, of course, and my wife sounded the alarm. And as I'm walking down, CF has the perfect shot of me realizing that you guys are there, and my face gets incredibly red, which my daughter thinks is hilarious.
The whole family thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because when I was chatting with Jenny, I was just like, we're gonna go hard, as hard as we can go, and we're probably gonna get maybe kicked out. Like, I don't know what the rules are. Like, a lot of graduations, they're like, hold your applause
Right.
till like everyone's done. But I'll give a shout out to CF. They were like extremely like, I don't want to use the word appreciative, but like everyone was just like, wow, that was like really entertaining and enjoyable, and thanks for showing support for your friend. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, there was at least one time I thought we were actually getting kicked out, but it was an actual like CF photographer, I think, trying to get us to put the signs up. But
He's
he's
like, "Hey, put 'em up."
He's going like this. He's going like this, and he's mouthing something, and he was like dressed in all black, and so I didn't see his camera, and I was just like, oh. So I'm doing like the old, if I ignore him, he's gonna go away. So I'm just like looking over here, like acting all polite. I put the vuvuzela down, And then he's like, finally, he goes, no, put your signs up. And I'm like, oh.
So I've never,
Jesse's throwing crib signs.
not blood blood signs.
Yeah.
Man, so the funniest thing is when you hit that horn the first time, everyone jumped. And the souls lifted out of
I told you I was
seats.
practicing at my house the night before because it's like you can't just blow into it because it's I actually have to like.
Okay, Nancy Reagan.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Real quick, you
We'll
were
get
born
to
at
that.
7-Eleven?
Yes, I was born at 7-Eleven.
Wow, that explains a lot.
Yep.
Which
Did
one?
my dad just tell you
Yeah,
that?
he did.
Oh, he chimed in? Yeah.
You got happy birthday wishes from Kenny Penny. Happiest of birthdays to the mayor. You got love from Deborah Smith, Leslie Hammond.
You guys and gals.
Johnny McCurchin said you could get it bigger. Talking about the sun.
No, he wasn't.
No, he definitely wasn't.
Karen Fisher. Happy birthday, JT.
Thanks, Mama Fish. All right, can we stop talking about me?
No.
Yeah. that'd
No,
be
should we
cool.
put the heads away?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's put away try to get Jesse's camera on.
Yeah, and let's work on Jesse's camera. So, genuinely though, shout out to CF. They know how to do a graduation. That was actually one of the longer graduations. Usually they're like, hey, we're going to give you some inspiring words, and we're going to run through these people, and I want to hear you clap for them. Just be cognizant of the next person up, which I think is cool because,
Yeah, we were not cognizant, but I think they just paused in general.
No, they're good at that. And when I watched I went to the spot because I was like, oh, I wonder if you can see. And I cannot tell you. You see my whole entire, I realize you guys are there. I realize what's going on. My face gets red. And
Yep.
I was saying my daughter was she's like, I've literally never seen you embarrassed. There's not much that can do it. And
Oh yeah,
she's
I remember having a chat with Miley though beforehand because she was like, when we met up, it's like we have the horn and the signs and all this other stuff, and we're gonna embarrass him, and she's like, that's gonna be great.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was 100% on board
yeah.
and
They all loved it.
genuinely being like, yes, let's do this.
And then when I walk across the stage and I hear the vuvuzela go off, you see me ooh.
Yeah.
And I realize it processes because I was like, uh-oh, air horn. And then I realize, no,
I
that's
follow
a
the rules.
vuvuzela.
They said no artificial
Right.
noisemakers. That's just an amplified my own
Yeah,
noisemaker.
It was. No, you nailed it.
You
And I
probably don't even need it.
No, I don't. That's the thing.
Right.
But and it worked out perfectly because I was just like, take the flowers, put them in the horn, and just walk in like it's part of the bouquet. Because I was like, that's the only way to smuggle a 3-inch horn in, and
Yeah.
no one thought anything. And then just you get their flowers, come out, huh?
Nothing. Just keep moving.
You like my hand movements?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I'll wait.
Yeah. Not smuggling a 3-inch horn.
Well then,
Good times.
Take that thing everywhere.
And of course, I knew
what else am I going to do with it?
Who was involved in the making of these? It had to be none other than Laz Lackner, Merit Advertising.
Yeah, hit him up for all your big head needs.
He's not going to do it for you because he only likes putting effort into embarrassing me, apparently.
Yeah,
But,
which we had I almost was like, man, we should have got business cards from him.
Yeah.
Because it's when we were just trying to find you afterwards, Jesse and I and Tyler and Nick, we just kept being stopped by people, congratulating us for hey, that was really awesome. And I think some people who were salty were just salty that they didn't know they could do that.
Of course.
I don't think they were mad about the disruption because it was hilarious. I think they were mad that they were just I didn't know you could do this.
Right. I didn't know we could bring 5
Yeah, I didn't know we
outside.
could have signs and noisemakers and stuff. But where'd you get those? Where'd you get those? So I'm thinking we might see a trend happen of
Yeah.
big heads of for embarrassment purposes showing up at all kinds of events, and I'm here for
This
it.
is all just a ploy for you to feel good about your head.
Yes, that's why I'm that's why I'm about it, because it's cool. I can finally live in a world where I look normal.
Yeah, it was super cool being
Ish.
called the head guy by other graduates. Can we? Yeah, I'm not. Can we not call me that, please?
Dr. Dome. That's another snippet for you.
I'm sorry if my parents are listening.
Oh, just wait till we move on.
Yeah. Speaking of moving on, let's keep this go. See, I was groping. Let's keep this groping going.
That's a beauty.
You got virtual groping up there.
Yes, because we've talked about the metaverse a couple times now, and Facebook's Meta, whatever metaverse, has this virtual world. It's Horizon Dawn or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but they're in beta testing, and they're just it seems still pretty new, and they already have on-record allegations of groping and sexual assault in virtual reality.
Like, are people wearing haptic suits or something?
So
I don't know,
thing.
but when I was reading, they're like, she did have her safe space turned off. And I'm like, what? And so there's like this feature for your like safe space. You turn it on and it creates like a literal virtual bubble around you where like you can't interact with people, they can't interact with you, they can't come up to you, they can't touch you, and it's like this 3-foot sphere around you of where you're just kind of like excluded. I don't know if they said that like to be like, well, that's what you get for turning off your safe space. But like it kind of seemed like that in the article that I was reading. But yeah, it was like she's beta testing some guy like.
Do we know what she was wearing?
They didn't go that far. They weren't asking the important questions.
Yeah,
Probably a
Yeah,
headset.
nothing else. It's probably.
what? So, but what are the?
I don't
like,
know
does
how
someone
you
get,
virtually grope. I don't know. Like they didn't really explain it.
Can you give us your best? Yeah,
Like
palming
your
a
poor
basketball.
wife, if that's how you grow.
something worked. I'm having a baby soon.
So, but like, does the person get suspended or something? Like,
Look, I
hey,
read
you
the
were
article
virtually
to try
groping.
and get all these important answers, and the one thing that the article I read did was not answer anything of importance.
It created more questions.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like that's with any conversation that you have about the metaverse.
Right.
Okay,
Just more questions
yeah, you're
than
right. That's a
answers.
good point. Like you read it and you're like, I'm now more confused.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like a digital avatar inappropriately touching another digital avatar. So now we have to get into the not logistics, like the ethics of that.
I don't get to play it very often because it used to make me super dizzy when I would stop playing. But there's this game, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like Quidditch, but for the Oculus, where you like fly around and you grab a disc and you throw it and all that stuff. Yeah, well, this is what you have to do. You have to like.
There's so many good hand movements.
Right. But you can also stun people to grab the disc, and so you're punching them. And so when you're in this virtual world, you can just walk around punching people. So of course that's what I do, because it's like I'm bored, and you can like you're talking to them too, which was like a first for me. Where I'm like, oh, I can, and like as you get closer, you can hear them. And you're like, what's up, man? Bah! And you just keep going, and look, hey, and you get frozen for like a few seconds. So if you're in the middle of doing something,
You're just going around like, no.
right. So I think about like Grand Theft Auto,
Yes.
and all of the things that you do that aren't related to the game in there, because you're like,
Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto online?
No, I've only played the one of the first ones at your house 20 years ago.
Because like as you're talking about that virtual Quidditch,
Right.
and like this virtual groping in the metaverse, like Horizon whatever world,
Or just virtual assault in general.
I like one of my first thoughts was just like, haven't y'all like metaverse creators ever been in like a GTA Online lobby? Like you literally, it is mayhem, like absolute chaos. People just run around doing like the wild, it's just like some people are like, I'm just trying to play my game. It's like I'm just trying to live my virtual life, and you got people running around just actually acting a fool because it's digital.
That's
Trying to live my virtual life.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what people are trying to.
Like,
What else are you doing in there?
I can relate because I would just be trying to play the game, and you'd have someone on your own team that's like, man, I'm just gonna fly around punching people. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm trying to win,
So there's that guy that's going around the metaverse just groping people.
Yeah. So, yeah, strange. And as you get you gotta sound
Don't
like
touch
that.
the microphone. Y'all see me fiddling with this pen all day. It's because I've been told I can't touch my microphone.
Yeah.
You got a pen too, huh?
I need a pen because I'll do the same.
You can have Joel come over here and we can fiddle with him.
Okay.
Not yet.
You're not
he
even
says
in the metaverse and you're
later.
insulting people. You're getting too comfortable with it. Yeah. What a weird world we're living in.
or not living.
Yeah, or not living in.
Need
Just trying to live my best digital life.
It's
It's just, to me, I'm like, cool. We're automatically, already carrying problems from this world over into the digital world. Yeah, it's like, it's not even like solidified yet. It's all conceptual, and it's like already like rife with
listen, that's
all
like
the same issues.
anytime they've ever tried to do artificial intelligence, like Twitter bot or something like that,
Yeah.
they have to shut it down
Yeah.
immediately. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just turns into the worst things that you could ever imagine. Like it picks up all of the most terrible. Like I remember one of the first ones is like, yeah, he was reciting Hitler, and
Yeah. They had
oh.
it like, I think that was the one that like it scrubbed Twitter and like
Yeah.
read all these tweets, and then it started like putting tweets out, and I think it lasted all of, like 20 minutes before it got like super racist and like crazy, and they basically hit the big red stop button.
Yeah.
And I did skimmed an article recently where it was another thing involving AI, and they're asking it like basically if like AI would ever be ethical, and it's just like no.
Yeah.
And of course AI won't be ethical. Like AI knows like it's like, you know, binary, like it doesn't have that ability, you know, like humans are the ones needed to be ethical, you know. And so it's just like really weird because it was just like, oh man, like if we think that it's going to solve our problems, it's not.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into be psychopathic.
I went to a keynote that had Steve Wozniak speaking, and he's already kind of like,
Is that the guy from Monsters Inc?
yeah, the big guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's baller.
Yeah, his brother actually, the guy that was one of the co-founders of Apple, and it was supposed to be about business.
Tim Apple.
Not Tim Apple. One of my favorite names.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be about business, which I don't think he was ever the business side of Apple anyway. But they're like, this is a notable name. But it ended up being like an hour and a half, like, of him ranting about AI and how dangerous it is.
100%
And like
dangerous.
everyone in the industry just kind of like walked away, like,
You guys see the iRobot?
Have a good
Dude, there's
show
so many
there.
movies that like
Yeah, but you had the one good robot. Yeah, that's my bad. I hit it again. You had the one good robot.
the one I always come back to is Ex Machina, just because it's like that's how it's gonna happen first. Like, spoiler alerts, like super ultra wealthy guy puts all of his money in AI research, and he's basically creating like these sentient like sex dolls, and then like they break loose, and you know they start. Now you have this sentient artificial being in the world. Now you got like a Westworld scenario, but it's like that one to me is like the most like, yeah, this is how it's gonna go in real world. You're gonna have that one crazy
have to
person with
watch it.
too much money
Yeah.
for research purposes.
Yeah. Sounds like a documentary.
It's a great movie, but it is like twisted. Like I honestly think we're not far off from that.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, because it deals with like, well, how do you treat this? Like it has all of the thought processes of a human, and it's basically passes a Turing test, but it was artificially made. So it's like it's like the humanity. What do you do with it? Is it human or is it an animal?
We always go back to the
I
humanity.
know.
Dude, it always goes back to the humanity.
Evolution. Am I right?
Well, we weren't
Speaking
able to
of
figure
which-
the ethical dilemma out then. We haven't now.
I wasn't planning on watching the second season of Tiger King because I was like, nah, we already saw everything that could be done. You know, it's just going to be like Making a Murderer where they just stretch some little thing out.
So was it?
No,
It was good?
it's insane. Like, I can't believe that there's so much more to the story.
I haven't, like, Lauren watched it. I haven't watched it because I actually was just like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
And she put it on and she
I
enjoyed
blew
it.
through it. I can't
Really?
believe it. And they have like the Doc Antle story.
He's
That guy-
wild, man.
That guy
guy's
should be in
crazy.
jail.
Yeah, he just went, his little snippets from the first Tiger King, you're like,
Well, you can
was
tell
he
he's-
like a polygamist too?
You can, yeah, he's an egomaniac for sure.
You have like
But
4
he's
wives and
also
8 tigers. I mean,
a pedophile polygamist,
ew.
like on the books, kidnapping girls, marrying them when they're 14.
I also heard he diddled elephants.
I was not prepared for that. How
That's
did you hear that?
unsubstantiated. That's rumors. That's rumors.
Is it like someone here tell you, like, hey, yeah, I heard he.
I'm trying to, like, we talked about before we got on air, the Marilyn Manson rumor that just kind of created and perpetuated itself, like, unsubstantiated in, like, the 90s.
How did every
I'm
middle
trying to,
schooler
like,
know this?
Yeah, how does everyone know that, and how did it start? So it's like, I'm trying to, like, throw my own out there. And then, like, maybe 10
Maybe
years
it
from
just-
now, people are like, Docky, man, he diddled elephants.
It was like nice trunk.
I mean,
right?
but we
I bet
don't-
you would say something like that.
Listen, you don't have to add anything in there because it's already crazy.
Is that bonkers?
Yes, he has his
Wow.
own little like sub series. But yeah, I could not believe it. I watched. It's like 4 or 5 episodes, and I'm like, I
started
cannot believe there's more. And like, you watch it and you're like, how is Joe Exotic the most sane person in this? Yeah.
Right.
I have to watch it now if it paints him as being, like, the most put together.
Well, you know, I'm sure it's convenient editing, but the
Of
way they
course.
put it together, he like kind of like predicts everything how it's gonna happen and how it does happen. It's absolutely wild. I cannot believe that I'm like, I'm not
The
going to
one thing I'm most mad with Donald Trump about is the fact that he didn't give Joe Exotic that pardon that Joe Exotic was so desperately sure that he was going to get.
They touch on that.
Oh,
they
had
play
like a
some of the-
giant pickup truck limo. Like, I mean, the dude.
Yeah.
Like, imagine your feeling of.
It's even crazier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, yeah, he had to have
even
been
crazier
crushed.
than you would think.
He should have given him that pardon.
The
I don't know why, other than
process
just so he
for
could
the
have more.
pardon. I can't believe the amount of money and effort that went into it.
Really?
That's not related to him. It's just some dude that was like,
Yep.
So there's some rich financier that was just like, we're going to pardon him.
yes, and they play like
Essentially.
clips of them talking to DJ TJ. Like, it's wild. If you liked the first one and you were hesitant about the second one like I was, go watch it. I cannot believe that it got me again. It is like
I just realized what DJ TJ was.
Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, it took me a second of like,
It's my favorite way of saying his name.
I went to music first. I was like, I've never heard of DJ TJ.
Nope, DJ TJ.
Like, must be some.
I haven't
James
heard him
something.
yell his name on the beginning of a track yet, so.
Yeah. Well, listen, I was thinking about that yesterday. I was listening to a Joyner Lucas song, and they're like, Joyner. I'm like, hey, you know what? I know we make fun of it, but I at least know who's singing now.
Yeah, it's like the old Mike Jones. Who?
Mike Jones.
Bingo. Like that was genius That is genius marketing.
Yeah.
It's annoying at first, especially if you don't like
Jason
the
Derulo.
Or
Jason
Kanye's new
Derulo.
album, the whole opening track is just Donda.
That's his mom's name, right?
Yeah.
You were doing your best to keep pushing Kanye, and I appreciate that. I will say I did like the album better the second time through.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I didn't even hate it the first time, but I was like, okay, I'll skip through some of this.
And the album isn't that good. It's just sonically incredible.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far.
I mean,
It's
you don't have
sonically.
Yeah.
Like you can hear it. I listen to it.
You can hear it.
Yeah. It's noise.
Now, I want to know if anyone else has
I don't
watched.
believe that you've listened to that.
I listened to it twice because I
whatsoever.
listened to it the first time and I was just like, man, I do not like this. And I think it was after talking with you and you're like, oh, give it a second listen. And I'm like, you're right. Some of my favorite albums, I wasn't like, the first list. I think anything you like, you should give
When you
like.
get in your car to go, listen to Hurricane.
Nope.
I think that's one really good song.
I
in
actually
there.
really like Hurricane. Yeah, for sure.
I just wish there was more of those on the track.
Well,
More of those on the track.
Whatever.
See,
the album.
You're thinking of, we got London on the track.
He
You're
is
thinking
not
of more
thinking
like
that.
plug
He's
lines.
definitely not thinking that.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's way over this big head.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like they make rap music in London.
I thought I started thinking about that guy who like has a camera on his head. He's trying to find the train. Oh, it's my favorite train.
Now, is he the person of the year?
He should have been.
He should be.
Oh my
We
god!
have
What was
to
the name of
post-
that train? Dick my butts.
We have to post that video for people that have no idea what we're
I
talking
need to
about.
see
I know we've
what.
talked about
Oh god, I got an eyelash in my eye. I got to see his like camera setup that makes him look like Sid from Ice Age.
Take a minute, get that thing out, bro. You're tearing up bad.
Yeah.
God, it's like right in my eyeball.
Yeah.
I think it's a piece of glitter.
Whitehead. Why do you have glitter in your eyeball?
From this here bag.
Okay.
I've been
Good
bamboozled.
one. You know what? I'm gonna. Yeah. Can I get a glitter bag?
That was
as a,
purposeful. He gave the other guy the glitter one so he gets it in his eyes so he'd blind him. Come on to you, Joel.
Thought you made a stop somewhere
Yeah,
for
I
breakfast.
definitely thought that. Yeah. A little 24-hour.
How do y'all know
action.
they serve breakfast?
Just a guess. Just a guess.
It's on the signs.
Is it?
No.
Oh. Anyway, person of the year.
Pody.
Pody. P-O-T-Y.
Pody.
Not P-Y-T. Not to be confused
Yeah,
with P-Y-T. Yeah, so you were saying that you went through.
So, like Elon Musk comes out as person of the year, and I'm like, meh. And I'm like, so I did look up all, like, 88, I think, people of the years.
So I'm a person of the year.
Where?
I'm 2006 person of the year.
on time.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
always
that was
on
when they
time.
did you.
Yeah.
So it's funny that like it was some newspaper. It was like San Francisco Bay Chronicle or something like that. They were like they ranked them, and it's funny like the worst one was you, and they're like, yeah, you people are trash. And then the next worst one was Hitler, and I was like, wow, yeah, like I was really thrown for a loop pulling the article up because they just straight hated on it. But you go through the list and you're like. Okay, some of these choices, basically, like if you're president, you're a shoo-in for person of the year.
Bill Clinton, 92.
Bill
baby.
Clinton, Obama had it like twice. Both Bushes had it. Donald Trump had it in 2016. So it's like if you're president, they just give it to you.
You're going to get it at some point.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
Well,
okay, this is kind of like, who makes these?
but-
Because some of them are dumb.
But the whole thing is like, because I was like, they chose the Boston Bomber one year, didn't they?
I don't think so.
As the person of the year?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking. No, he was
Bomber
on-
of the year.
No, he was on the Rolling Stone cover. Well, I think wasn't Bin Laden or something like.
Ayatollah Khomeini was in like 79.
Yeah, so I think.
But like I think Hitler was, and Stalin.
But I think that they go, well, this doesn't mean that they're the best person of the year.
No, it definitely
they're
doesn't.
just like the most talked about person of the year.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah. So that's what
He's
my,
not even a person.
My initial thought
He's a
for some
lizard
reason.
alien.
Exactly. He's one of them robots. He's one of them androids.
Yeah.
You've seen him drink water or attempt to.
Yeah.
All that is cooling liquid to like cool all the gears and like servos down
They're
inside
asking
of
too
him.
many questions.
Yeah. But it's like I thought, because I don't know much of person of the year, I don't put a lot of time into
You
that.
could
But
have just stopped at I don't know much.
nah.
Nah.
I gotta elaborate. But it's like I did think it was one of those things where it is like a good thing, and then when I started reading about it, I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with like anything good. Like they've given it to terrible people.
Right.
It's just like people who've made the most impact on the world for better or for worse.
Probably
kind
who's
of.
going to sell the most magazine cover.
The Boston
That's
Bomber
exactly
was
it.
on the Rolling Stone cover, or Bombers. That's what I was mixing up.
Yeah, they gave Angela Merkel one. I think Putin's had it.
Yeah.
Dave's pulling them up on the screen here.
You
But
can't
it's
just say Angela.
isn't her name
I
Angela?
don't know.
Angela?
I mean, but-
Angela? I don't speak German.
This is the hard part of saying words that aren't meant for English. I don't know. It's annoying.
No words are meant for English. English just steals words. We're like the colonists of vocabulary. We're just gonna.
Do you feel better now? Feel good?
It's true.
You feel like you've connected with a certain part of our audience because you've put that out there.
What audience is that?
I don't know.
None of them.
Yeah, none of them. Yeah, if they're watching.
Well, I already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one at
Yeah.
least.
Everything's
It's good enough for
assimilated.
me.
Everything's
Wipe your
assimilated.
face.
Do I have glitter on my face still?
Yeah.
But that does take me to you've got frondeur or fondue up there.
Yeah. So I'm reading the guest spot, which is Joel, and it says he's a frondeur.
Did you not write that?
No, I thought Joel wrote that. Like that. Real talk. I thought we wrote those. Why is he submitting his own?
Yeah.
So that's when I found out that's not the vat of boiling seasoning and broth that you dip meat and chocolates into.
Which I've got
which
a
is
whole,
fondue.
Which I've got a whole bone to pick with, but we'll get to that in a
It's
minute.
frondeur, which I already forgot what it means. Political something.
Political rebel.
Political rebel.
Yeah.
Is that like a rabble rouser?
It's like a rabble rouser.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how I view it, is a rabble rouser.
Gotcha. That's all I have on that is
Okay.
frondeur or
You got it mixed up.
fondue.
You thought he was cheese.
Just an interesting word. It's like thuid.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hear it and you're like, what the hell?
River
Yeah, but you've
runs
never
through
heard
it.
frondeur before?
Huh?
You've never heard frondeur
I've never heard frondeur before.
Yeah,
just
me
fond.
neither. I looked up synonyms.
It sounds like someone. Synonyms?
Cinnamons.
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 It's like someone's trying to say fondue, but like they have a speech impediment.
Or like an
You want to go to
enthusiast.
Melting Pot and get some frondeur?
Drunk.
It doesn't sound like a
they
speech
get some
impediment. It
frondeur.
actually sounds like an accent when you say it like that.
Frondeur. That's how people. That's like those people you met at that convention. That's how they think Ocalians speak.
Yes.
Y'all got frondeur.
That's not the kind of accent I meant, but I appreciate that you went that way with
I
it.
thought
Yeah.
he was a fondue enthusiast.
Yeah. well,
Wow.
So here's the thing.
What's your take on fondue?
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
okay.
you. It's a fondue.
Follow-up question. What's your take on Korean barbecue then?
Pardon?
What's your take on tableside Korean barbecue?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Same here. It's
So
there's a line to draw with the cook your own food section.
The first time I went to the Melting Pot, I took a date. I was like in high school or something.
Wow,
it was like a
baller.
big deal for me. Right, yeah. And I get there, and, it's kind of like when I didn't know what fajitas and quesadillas were. Like, I just didn't know, right? This is how you learn things. So I get there, and they give us freaking raw chicken with, I thought it was like, oh, you get meal and you dip stuff in cheese. Like, that's the whole thing.
I've never had chicken this rare.
Yeah, just like I like it. Pink. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No, so they
Medium rare
bring
chicken.
it. like they bring raw chicken to the table, and I was like, yo,
You better cook
what the
that.
hell? What are you doing here? And, of course, they're, like, chuckling, like, because they think I'm kidding. Like, no, I'm just stupid. What is the plan? And they're like, yeah, this is fondue, dude. You put it in the
What's
pot.
the plan here? I need a written plan.
And
What's
I'm
the
like,
rundown?
yeah.
Step-by-step process.
Right. And I'm
Day
like,
by day.
yo, I got to do this? And then I'm like, do you have a thermometer? And they're like, no. Like, how am I supposed to know it's done?
Great segue into another short story.
And I'm trying not to like sound too stupid, but at the same time, I'm like, and I already saw what I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta pay 3 times as much as
To cook
Chili's
my own food?
to cook my own food. I'll go make my own quesadillas with their fajitas that I get at Chili's for a fraction of the cost.
How do you
Like,
know
just-
which one's which?
Yeah, well, I learned the hard way on a date.
a
when they
fajita
brought
is
it
just
up.
to make your own quesadilla.
Yeah, now I know.
It's more like make your own taco, isn't it?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
do.
I
either
guess.
or.
Yeah, I
You can do
guess
whatever
it's
you
kind of
want.
taco.
You
It's
can
a
do
free
whatever
country.
you
But yeah, I learned the hard way, and then many years later, I was talking to someone, and I didn't know the melting pot was a chain, and so I was like, "Yeah, we got this. We used to have this place here in town.
Super new, unique joint.
I'm sure I've talked about this on there. But I was like, yeah, but it's like fondue, but it's not just cheese. You like make it's called the melting pot, and they're like, yeah, man. You tell me about Applebee's next? I was like, what do you
Cheesecake
mean?
Factory.
Right, and then I look it up, and I'm like, oh, they're all over the country.
Yeah.
This is a chain. I had zero idea.
Yeah.
Applebee's your neighborhood bar and grill.
Yeah. No.
There's a special space for Applebee's though.
There
Sometimes
is.
Applebee's just hits right. You just gotta go.
Yeah, the Applebee's and the Chili's to me are the same thing.
Yes.
In fact, I've
It's like Keira Knightley and
yeah.
Natalie Portman.
We just talked about that.
Applebee's and Chili's.
We actually at the Gambler every year when it was at Hogwaller, which is near Palatka, we go to this. Is it a Chili's or an Applebee's? I think it's a Chili's.
Right, like I think it is a Chili's, but I'm like, now that you're saying it, I don't know.
They're the
They have
same thing to
fajitas
me.
and quesadillas?
Whatever it is,
It's next to the Walmart.
Whatever it is, I'm like, yeah, just meet us at the Applebee's. I would tell them the opposite, and so they'd all start driving off. I'm like, what are you doing? We're 7 feet away from this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's Chili's. Like, I'm sorry.
They're
the same
interchangeable.
thing.
They
If
are
If it's
interchangeable.
2-for-1s and microwave food, it's the same thing to me.
I've run the math on the 2-for-1s and it's a scam, people.
It's definitely a scam.
Like ounces to dollars spend. Like one time I was sitting there and it was just, when I calculated, I was just like, I feel like I've been swindled. Like none of this is a good deal.
It's a sham.
Like if anything, like I'm paying more.
Yeah.
But good on them for like keeping that charade on so long to make me think that I'm
It
getting
makes
the
you
good deal
feel
with the
like
2-for-1s.
you're getting 2-for-1s.
Yeah.
So what was there was something with chicken or fondue that was going to remind you?
Oh, it just made me think of like in 6th grade when we were like in the lunch line and you were like vehemently asking the lunch lady what the nature of the fish sticks were. Like when I was a kid, like I knew one type of fish and it's fish sticks. Like that's all there is. It's like
That's all she knew, too.
That's the only kind of fish there is. It's fish sticks. And so it's like you asking for a meat thermometer and you're in your adulthood. So you can like properly cook your chicken to 165 at the non-chain melting pot. Remind me of you asking this lunch lady, what kind of fish is this? She just looks at him and goes, "It's fish sticks, honey." It's like, no, but man, what kind of fish is inside of it? And he starts naming fish. Is it cod? Is it haddock? Is it pollock, whitefish? And she's like, it's fish sticks.
Baby.
Then
it's fish sticks.
When she paused in between each word, because I think she then thought you were slow, it is fish sticks.
No, she
and then
found
she like
out
hands
it
you
was
tray and is like, move along, you know?
She
Then
was
I had to go and,
incredibly
like-
sweet about it because I could tell that she thought I was
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
had
yeah.
issues. I don't know why I was asking. Listen, this is.
I don't know why you're asking either.
I've got a history of asking
I already
questions.
had my tray
right?
of food. I'm sitting there in my head going, dude, it's fish sticks. She
Yeah.
told you 4 freaking times. It's fish sticks.
I'm guessing I had just read something that was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, gotta be careful, farm raised cod, or so. Like I'm sure it was
Yes.
something like that. And I was just like wondering, like, I wonder what this is.
You can raise cod on a farm?
Yeah. You can raise anything on a farm if you try hard enough.
Crazy.
Come on, dog.
Land cod.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm just curious, guys. All
No,
right?
that was that's burned into my mind.
She's
though.
a sweet lady. That's like I remember this kid Aaron, his older sister had the same chip in her tooth like I had, and I didn't know you could get it fixed. I thought when you got a chip in your tooth, like that was it. Like you're like, that was your adult tooth. Like, you're stuck now.
You're J. Cole in it.
And so my dad was like, hey, we're going to get your tooth fixed. I was like, oh, wow, we can get it fixed. That's cool. And so his sister, who had the same chip as mine, I was like, hey, Charisse, you know you can get that fixed, right?
Wow.
I wasn't trying to be mean. I genuinely was just like, in case you didn't know, like I didn't know. And then so me and Aaron had to fight. And I was like, I didn't mean to be mean, but now
I love
like,
how things escalate.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we were fighting each other.
No, yeah, we definitely fought. And I was like, I mean, I feel bad, but I'm also like, I'm not going to get punched in the face and not punch back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might chip
gl-
that tooth.
I'm glad
Right.
chipping teeth as an adult is like way less common than I thought it was as a kid. Because I do feel like chipping teeth as a kid was just something that happened all too often.
Yeah, I did it twice.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I don't know if I can deal with like this, like my whole adult life. And
Depends
now-
on how much you drink. I feel like the more
Yeah.
you drink, the more apt you are to chip a tooth.
True.
I mean,
Based on the adults that I know that have chipped their teeth. It's never like, oh yeah, I did a backflip in the wave pool and that's how I chipped it.
That is the best way to chip a tooth.
Or, yeah, well, it's not.
You were in the shallow end.
I was in the shallow end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just told Maddox this story because I have like a pull-up bar that the kids play with sometimes, and he jumped up to get on it, and like it's not built for that. It's like it just hangs on the door frame, and so he's straight up page master, like wow, bam.
Did he like arch his back, go as he like gasps for breath?
That's how we knew it happened because I heard it sounded like a baby seal, like
He was getting clubbed in there.
come around
That's
the
the
corner.
worst feeling.
And you know, so we're chatting.
Gasping for air when you knock the wind out of yourself.
Yeah, we're chatting a little later on. I was like, "How's your back feel?" He's like, "I mean, it's better, but it hurts." I was like, "How's your pride feel?" And he's like, "Really bad." So I'm like, "All right, I'll trade a."
Imagine doing that in the wave
Yeah.
pool, wild water, circa 99, and
Yeah.
its peak.
Yep.
There's at least 200 people watching you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scratches on the face.
I was gonna say, and that's like a really grippy concrete too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you had to been shredded.
Yeah, I definitely was. I mean, that was like you'd walk in and walk out, and your feet are all scratched up. Like,
Yeah.
That's how like.
If they didn't do that, you know how many people would be just like, whoop. Although, you know, now that I think about that, that'd be a great wave pool.
Well, no, because then you couldn't get out. You
And then they
need
just
the
get
grip.
carried out to sea, you know?
Yeah. What a. Are there any wave pools anymore? Like what a.
I think
Potentially
doesn't the
dangerous
Disney water park have them?
I'm not the guy
Lagoon?
to ask about Disney. I am not a millionaire. I don't know. We don't go to Disney like we go to Busch Gardens. We're a Busch Gardens family.
Yeah.
When that passes $100 for a year, like okay, now we're talking.
Busch Gardens is like the more like, I don't know how else to say this, like Florida man of the theme parks. Like you go there and they're like, oh, they tried to give it like ambiance.
Yeah.
But like you can see where like stuff's been broken and fallen apart and like visible like wood screws that hold everything together, you know. But it's just like the lines aren't that long. The rides are way better.
Yeah.
there's a wave pool at Legoland.
I want to go to Legoland.
Is it all Legos?
That sounds dangerous.
That would
Could you
be
imagine
amazing.
stepping on those?
Well, have you ever
What
like?
if the floor is made out of Legos? That's how it's grippy.
Oh my! That's basically
never
what the
gonna-
wave pool was.
Yeah.
It's like you're walking on Legos.
Time to do the switch.
Oh dang!
Universal has
We're
one
moving
too.
quick.
I'm surprised Nick even brought up Universal since he's one of those Disney cultists.
Disney has one too.
All right, guys,
course.
we're gonna bring Joel on the mic. Sorry, Jesse. See you later.
We're gonna have him chug one of these bottles right quick before he gets on. I see him preparing his notes.
No notes.
No notes.
None of that.
Are you working?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's how
Always
it
kind
goes.
of.
Sorry to interrupt.
Are you?
Well,
I don't know.
no.
I meant your work.
Yeah, he's not at all. Okay.
You get on here and
Jesse, can you fill in?
Yeah, he's getting.
I
too
touched the
excited.
microphone. Is this still staticky?
Welcome to the table, Joel.
Nice to be here.
So, do you guys have an internal messaging system that you use, or an external messaging system that you use? You got just emails.
Oh, is this a work question?
This is a work question. yeah.
No, that was just a text message from my boss.
Oh, he's starting off with
It's like, hey, where are you?
hard-hitting questions.
Give me that. Yeah,
Yeah,
He didn't tell him he was going to be here today.
yeah.
that's true.
That is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, just running late, boss. Sorry.
Had an important client meeting.
You wear a skinny tie like no one can.
Thank you. I think it's because I have the body of a 12-year-old girl, so that helps.
Wow.
A very tall 12-year-old.
Thank you. Yeah, and bald.
And bald.
Yeah. This is starting out
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm trying to wonder how inappropriate we're gonna go. We already started off fairly off the rails with this show. Maybe we should put it back on track.
Well, when you start with virtual groping, there's not a whole lot.
it's better than the Glizzard Wizzard Nancy Reagan. So
I
What
have
is
questions
Glizzard
off air
Wizzard?
for that.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I just want
Nope.
okay. He's in the hot seat. He says no. We'll move on. But I do want to say is it got brought up that you, and I think a lot of our listeners and people in Ocala know that you are an impeccable DJ. But you said that's like probably the least interesting thing about yourself.
I think it's. I mean, well, sure, yeah.
You just get like a little.
This is you want this is
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
difficult.
Yeah, I'll get you a new table.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think just because that's visually how I'm kind of out there in the Ocala society, I suppose.
So I know you're not going to like this,
Oh, here we
but you want me out or in? You're not going to like this, but I didn't know much about like mixing music, right? So, and I've probably told you this story personally, but I'm going to put it on air. Yeah, I don't know much about a lot as we're learning.
And somehow you have this gig.
Quesadillas. Yeah. So, I knew of you, and I'd seen you at Pi, and I'd heard the music. And, you're really great at knowing the audience and playing to the audience, I think. And or, like, in the case of where I sat down and actually learned about you and what you do, it was, what's Olivia's thing?
Couch sessions?
Couch Sessions,
Yeah.
where she pairs a musician with an artist, and it's this whole experience, and it's amazing. And so we got to go to yours. Very rare that we get to do date nights, and I was like, "Oh, a DJ, that'll be interesting."
Yeah.
And then you blew us away because you talked about the process and how you actually work things in and slow things down and speed things up and mix it. And it's been our favorite couch session so far.
Oh, well, thank you.
My wife and I still talk about it because it's like, oh, this is an actual art, and now I understand why people get paid good money to do this because, and I can see it now. You can see just the little bit of introduction that you gave us, which was perfect. It was like a good amount of like talking mixed with actually
Couple
mixing.
breadcrumbs and show you this.
Right.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So it was like mind blowing for us that like didn't really know much about actual DJing and you kind of gave us like the background of it, and it was super cool. So to see that was awesome. And I'm not trying to toot your horn too much on there.
Well,
You're 5 minutes and running, but you're going, that's it.
But
it is
it's
true though, because
yeah.
you did have, you're just like, yeah, it's a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so like that is a true story. I'll say he's not just honking you bobo because you're here on a show.
Right.
But it was just like, he's like, oh, it's just a DJ. And then I remember him texting me being like, this was amazing. Like truly like, so I was sad that I didn't get to go to that one because that was at Pi in like the little real
secret
like
room.
Yeah, and that's such a quaint room. But
That was an interesting experience, and I tried to take that from like a direction of, because so many people like look at like somebody that is like a DJ or whatever, and it's like it's party time, it's everybody's dancing,
Right.
let's rubber bodies against each other, and
that's what's up.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Not mad at it.
But it doesn't have to be that,
Right.
And that's the approach that I usually try to take from. And it's fascinating to me actually that you think that I have like a strong command of the audience, because I don't care about the audience. I don't, and that's like I play what I want to play,
Right.
and I'm gonna play what I want to play, and that's why like I don't like take tips. I don't have a tip jar. I don't,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's
This is for me, not for you people.
And
So all my
you-
requests have been thrown away.
correct. Yes, like out of the chute, out of the chute. Yeah.
Have you seen The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard?
No.
Okay. It's a movie
Live
about
hard, so hard.
Sell Hard. The
Oh,
Goods.
live hard,
It's
so hard.
It's an amazing movie.
Wow.
It's very woke.
It's an amazing movie about selling used cars, but they hire a DJ that refuses to take any requests, and
That's
it's
me.
amazing.
That's
Yes.
me. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's absolutely
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ.
Yeah, well, and I would say, and maybe you just push the audience to do. I guess what I should say is, maybe you know the venue, and you push the audience where they probably need to go.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, and and believe you me, there's a long time that I really sucked at it. There was probably a solid like 8 months of my life that after originally bought turntables, where I was like, I'm just gonna have to lie to people and tell them I do this, and I mean it. Like I just because I didn't really have anybody at the very very beginning to teach me, so I just bought the equipment because I had been to a few shows and I was like, I want to do that, you know. And I remember being in my basement and I would just like like turn this on, turn this on, turn this on. And like I would just turn a couple knobs and throw a couple levers and go, that's terrible. Turn that all off. Like don't do that ever again.
Right.
And it was actually one of my friends who I'm still very good friends with, Josh Harps, that I remember seeing him at like a local like party, and I was just kind of watching him, and he was playing a song that I knew. And then he grabbed a record that I owned, and I was like, "Ooh!" And like I saw him kind of like, like listen, move this, and then listen, and then like, pull the other song in, and I heard them like, like the harmony between them. They were kind of like doing their own, making their own thing as it went, sweeping from one to the other, and it was like this, yeah. And then I just kind of ran with it.
So, amateur question.
Sure.
Are you hearing it before you actually?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna ask a Matt question.
Yeah.
Is there a delay, or are we hearing it live?
No. It's I'm
Yeah, never mind.
I'm just essentially beforehand trying to get one to play at the same tempo as the other.
So is that why you're typically listening? Like you see,
a lot of times because a lot of DJs will do like the one earphone thing.
Yeah.
I lock myself into headphones and I don't really take them off too often because I don't like talking to people. So
yeah,
this
is a great way of like shooing people away.
Yeah.
I do that at the gym.
Yeah.
My headphones will die and I'll just keep them in. I'll be like.
Yeah, correct. Or I'm very good at giving the appearance of like because somebody will be standing
busy.
there, and I can tell they're like ready to do Britney Spears,
right?
And
but do you?
And I can make myself very unapproachable. I've been working on that since.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
I always thought like the one headphone like on the thing is like that's just how DJs are. Like I've seen so many that are like, and you definitely stand out because you do have like your head straight up with the microphone fully on, and you're not doing one of these things. So.
No, truth be told, a lot of DJs do that because they are listening to the one that you can't hear yet, and then they're listening to. Now I had played at so many places where it's like because that's how I originally would do it, like this, and then but that's my monitor ear, and then I'd go somewhere, and then like the monitor's over there, and I'd be having to do this, or like or do the and like it throws off my. So I just taught myself to like.
I'm doing.
Why don't they just
my safe space?
Yeah. Why don't they just make like
a
one-eared headphone?
They do.
Oh, okay. Just no one buys them.
No, they do.
I get you one.
No, I've just never seen a DJ with the one-eared headphone. They always have to do this. I'm like, it'd just be better if you just had it on your head. You don't have to like cock your neck.
Yeah. That's part of the look, I guess, for those guys.
That's kind of what I thought. I wanted him to say. That's what I thought.
Nancy Reagan.
What
reference? You said cock your neck.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
We're not. I don't even know what it means. I just didn't know what the reference was.
I'm glad that we spent like 10 minutes talking about the stuff that I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I tried to like steer you away from that, so that's on YouTube.
I noticed,
Yeah.
And I do agree with him about the English language, though. It's our language.
Well, of course. It's a bastardized assimilation.
6 cats in a trench coat.
I mean, isn't it the most difficult language to learn?
It's got to be.
Like so many words that sound the same.
Any language where like a sentence can make sense and you can have the word that twice in a row is like
technically there's a sentence that is grammatically correct and it's buffalo, 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 buffalo. It's 7 buffaloes and it is like grammatically correct sentence because there's multiple definitions of the word buffalo.
Yeah.
And you can just happen to string them together to make a sentence. And it's just like, to me when I found that out, I'm like, this language
I'm not going to sleep for a week because of that.
Because of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Buffalo?
Hang on, I'm texting out at work.
I got to get
I am shooketh. I cannot come in.
Not great.
So we didn't get into it on the normal portion. We got plenty of time here. Pay to play for autonomous vehicles or electric vehicles.
It's mostly the electric vehicles. So the newest one is, and I know you got a classic car, which is awesome.
It's true.
Bonneville, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I also had a classic Bonneville.
You did the Bonneville.
The Bonneville. It's classic maybe now.
I remember riding it the first time and the whole front right fender was dented up, and then you're like, when you do this, they see the damage and then they don't think twice, and you just like swerved at a guy. And I'm like, dang.
That's
he's using his disadvantages to his advantage.
That's a fake story. That definitely did not happen often.
Yeah, it definitely didn't happen.
Sometimes you got to teach people, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
let
the
them
new
know.
electric vehicles, they're like, you buy a car, or in this case, the recent one I read was for Zero motorcycles, and they're all electric. Like Tesla does the same thing, and now Zero motorcycles, and they're like, if you pay us more money, we can increase your battery range by 100%. All it is a firmware update. Like, it's already there in the car.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh, we'll increase your battery percentage, we'll increase, whatever you want, just pay us more.
For a financial squeeze.
For a financial squeeze. And so it's like you don't, and it's kind of like the same thing when the one guy sold the Tesla that had the auto drive. He bought the Tesla with the auto drive and he sold it on the secondhand market. And as soon as the new owner took the car over, Tesla disabled the auto drive.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, that doesn't transfer with the vehicle.
Right.
And it like made all these waves.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how to
capitalism,
think of
is
it.
that what
Yeah,
you-
it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I mean, we do that right now anyway. I went from the Armada that I had that drives exactly like the Armada that I now have, but the difference in price between the two is incredible because mine now has seats that cool and DVD players in the back. Like it drives exactly the same. Everything else is exactly the same. But it's got a huge price difference because of those upgrades. So, like, I get why they do upgrades like that, or you go from a V6 to a V8. So I understand why you have to do it, but
But as a frondeur.
as a frondeur, it's painful to see you have all the technology right there, and it's just a firmware release. And it's kind
What
of
if
like
you bought
takes
your
me back-
Armada with the DVD screens and the AC seats, but you couldn't use them, though? Like, what if they're physically there,
Right.
and they're like, oh, yeah, of course your car has it.
Right.
Oh, you want to use them?
Yeah.
More money.
Are we groping people again virtually?
We're like milking them.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah.
For money.
Every last little penny. Yeah. Yeah. It's painful to see that. I don't know. I don't know how you. I think it's kind of like first class seats versus like coach seats though. Like, how do you make it more affordable for the everyday person? Well, you upcharge for the niceties of the vehicle. I mean, the Tesla 3 is $35,000. Like, how do you make that $35,000? No one else is in a range like that. I mean, they're getting there, but you have to go, all right, well, we're going to charge more for these things that are technically there, but this is how we're going to set the difference.
It's just, to me, it's just kind of, like we brought up Joel's classic car and you brought up airplanes. It's like back in the day, it's like what you got is what you got. Like you bought that plane ticket, and you knew how much legroom you had and you could check your bags. You buy a car. It's like all the features you get are in that car.
No, but that's not true. I mean, back in the day, they had model differences too.
Well, yeah, but it's not like now. Like I'm just saying that they come on it though. It's just an interesting concept being like electronic that they're just like unlocking it. Like
I think the fact that the veil is gone, that there really isn't a difference, and they're like, you could, but we ain't gonna. And it's just like, oh. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go, this is annoying, and then deal with it.
Yeah, I would understand, like, I can only afford the V6, but, I know the V8's more powerful. But at this time, it's just like,
when
you
they
get the
started,
V8 detuned,
Right. Yeah, I get it. No, I do. I understand both sides of it. It's frustrating, but you specifically brought up Zero motorcycles, and I hate Zero motorcycles.
What's your take on Zero motorcycles?
My take is I have to talk about cars and automobiles for like the next several hours after I leave here.
So let's move on.
If there's anything else,
Yeah,
Jesse,
that we
do
wanna
you want
talk
to come
about.
back?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Dave Miller a while ago had mentioned something about possibly doing some sort of a charity Ocala people hit each other a bunch thing, and I think I'd like to hit you.
We should
do
that.
Yeah,
There should be some. I want WWE style though.
You don't have to
I want to hit you.
You don't have to workshop the
Yeah.
name because he already just created the best name for it.
What's that?
The
Whatever I just
Ocala
said.
event where
Yeah.
you just go and hit people.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We should. Well, I mean, there's nothing stopping us.
Well,
Do we have a dual law here in Florida?
know.
Isn't it like Seattle? There's like a
I
right
think
to
this is-
combat state.
This is one of those
Or
situations
Washington?
where I think the more we look into it, the more we might decide not to do it.
So plausible
let's
deniability,
plow
just jump
forward.
into
Correct.
it, yeah.
Yeah, plausible deniability.
Like I thought as a free man I could fight him in the streets.
Well, in Washington, I know in Seattle for sure.
Yeah.
Like they have like a right there. I'm making this up, but I'm making the name up as a right to combat state. But there's a name for it. Where literally, if you're two grown people and you go, "Nah, we want to fight," cops are like, "All right,
Let him go.
let's see,
Let him go.
Yeah,
why did this ever go away?
Because I think people
Because
can
of
be
the left.
coerced. Yeah, people can be coerced into fighting. Because like maybe someone doesn't want to, but they don't want to I don't want to back down, Kind of like, I didn't mean to offend your sister, but now I'm not going to not fight.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to, but I'm not going to not. So I think that probably that's why some of that's gone away. And you hit someone and they fall over and hit their head on the curb and boom.
That's their fault for being weak-headed.
I will take that chance.
Yeah, that's worth it. It's a worthwhile chance.
It's like by being involved in this fight, you're consenting to whatever happens.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably need to sign some waivers.
Yeah.
With weapons or
but
no
I'm fine with
weapons.
that.
Well, and that's kind of the funny thing. I was thinking about it when I was watching the Cowboys game over the weekend, and there was a late hit on Dak Prescott, and his O-line came in and just plowed the dude that gave him a late hit. There's a fight on the sidelines, and I'm cracking up. I love it because I'm good. I like to see people that are making millions of dollars being passionate about what they do. And Maddox was like, "Why are you laughing?" And I'm like, "Because I can only ever think about me and my regular everyday office life. If someone upset me, and I just fought them, why don't we have this? Because they're like, all right, well, they both kind of started it, so penalties offset." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." If I get to say, well, Janice really ticked me off, so I did this, and I shoved her, and she shoved me back, and that was it.
You can do that in the metaverse. They just get stunned for 3 seconds, and if they got their safe space bubble off, fair game.
Fair game, right?
Yeah.
But so hockey's another example. Once a gloves are
Hockey's
off?
beautiful.
Yeah,
that's
hey,
it's the only stickball sport that I actually appreciate
right.
in that. In
But isn't it specifically don't the gloves have to come off, right? You're gonna.
I don't know.
I
the
have
rules.
no idea. I just know that they will actually let them fight for a while, and that's why I
they're
give them look.
all right, he took his gloves off, guys. We got a few.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight right
Those
now.
are the rules.
Right. So how amazing would that be in your everyday life if you're a 9 to 5?
You pull the work shirt over their head, and then you just start hitting them.
Right. All right, I loosened the tie. Yeah. When we were in middle school, it was if you dropped the backpack. I don't know if
backpack down.
everyone
Yeah,
else-
Well, everyone had
backpack
the
down
one
is on.
sling on only. No
But
one wore
if
proper.
one guy dropped it, that didn't mean we're fighting yet. It just meant if you don't drop yours, we knew who already won. But if the second person dropped theirs, it's on.
Too bad.
Then they go chest to chest. Though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So that's kind of it was like this dance, it's like watching, like one of those nature documentaries. Bag goes down, you
Right.
get chest to chest, now you're in each other's face, and then you're waiting for the first push. After the first push, then the punches get thrown.
As you get older, though, you realize, don't even go chest to chest. If someone advances on you,
just punch them.
Just start swinging.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take that. I remember my dad, it's never throw the first punch, never throw the first punch. And then I got clocked pretty good. And so I'm like, Dad, what the heck, man? I didn't throw the first punch. And it took me a while to get my feet back. And he's like, okay, don't
Throw
be
the first
aggressor.
punch, but make sure you connect.
Yeah, he's like, don't be the aggressor in the situation is what I was really trying
It's
to
the
say.
terrible English language that tripped me up
Yeah,
there.
right.
Yeah, those
He's
damn
like,
6 cats.
All right, you can throw the
And
first
Jesse's
punch.
doing his
just-
best to make me continue to want to hit you in the face.
Yeah,
right there.
I have a very punchable face.
Yeah,
I
can't
fully
wait.
understand.
I cannot
that.
wait.
We're gloved up, right?
Don't punch this one.
Heavy gloves, hopefully.
Do you have
yeah, no.
experience in fighting people?
What's that?
Do you have experience with
Some,
fighting
yeah.
people?
Do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who to put my money on. That's all. It's insider trading right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some.
So is it ground game too, or just
Whatever
striking?
rules you want to. Yeah, I'm
Ground
Oh, it's up to
pound.
me.
If you want to, do you want to go?
Kisses
do you want
only.
to go big?
Mouth kisses.
You get little kisses all over your top head.
So
You said it was my rules. Guess what? buddy?
no, boxing gloves, 4-ounce gloves.
Is it just you and I, or we? Or
We
are
should get like a
lineup?
fight card together.
we should.
Yeah, we should get like
I actually
an
thought
Ocala
I
charity fight.
So how do we raise the money for charity? Just betting?
We don't care about that part.
yeah,
we just care about the
that's
fighting
somebody
part.
else.
Someone
can
else
argue
Okay,
that. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
that
yeah.
actually cares about people.
Yeah.
They can handle that side.
Yeah.
I'll Don King this.
That's like a RJ thing. RJ, you figure out how to do the money where it
Yes,
goes.
because we probably don't want him involved.
Yeah. No.
That guy is very difficult to choke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just drops that chin down, and that's we're done.
Everybody's
Done.
saying
Without backstory, actually, that's probably a weird thing to say on this
That's
show.
not nice.
I know.
You know that, and that's the thing. That's Joel's advantage is
What's
that 'cause he said people are saying money's on me, but that's your advantage is that people don't know.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's the element of surprise.
That-
I had that when I
DJ
was
can't fight.
Yeah, I had that when I was 60 pounds lighter. Yeah, I don't want to get too far into the story, but something almost happened the other night, and it was like, man, that would have been the worst mistake for this person to try to fight anyone at RJ's event because it's like there's 40 people in there that like actively
Want to
practice
fight.
grappling and fighting, and yeah, like, oh no, don't do that, please. It wouldn't even be fun. Like,
Sometimes people need to like make those choices though and find out.
that's called mess around and find out.
Yeah,
I believe is
and
the
I think
technical
that's like
thing.
the best learning experience for a lot of people though.
I've been so worried since I've been sitting up here because I have, and right there was
Almost
I'm
happened.
so glad
You've done well.
You can do it.
You have?
No, he's saying if he can withhold.
Yeah, he's the worst at it. He'd just unabashed cuss words
I
like
don't know,
right
man.
off the bat.
Guys,
like an ignoramus.
Thank you so much for joining, Joel. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
You know what? It's been a good. What are you laughing at? Did you read a comment? Yeah. It's been a good day, a good birthday. Thanks for the crazy
Nick's
comments.
going way too hard.
Is he going on Nancy Reagan?
No, it's going on Joel.
Oh my God, I'll fight him after.
Yeah.
Please.
No, I think he's calling you out.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Happy
See you
Friday.
guys.
Don't let that smile.
Nick says